You're a shareholder in a business, potentially a minority shareholder, but the important point is you're not controlling the board. And the board is just doing what it wants to do, when it wants to do it, to your prejudice. They are paying their personal expenses, they are favouring their family trusts, drawings, whatever it is. Often there's this misperception that if the directors control the board and the minority shareholders can't sub out the directors, there's nothing that they can do. But that's actually that is a misperception, because under Section 174 of the Companies Act, there is the ability for shareholders who have been prejudiced to come to court and to ask the court for certain remedies. It could be compensation. It could be if the relationship is so destroyed that the court sever that relationship and the delinquent directors pay out you at a fair market value. Now, that part of our approach in dealing with these situations is actually to educate the directors on what is available at court, because quite often they are also running on the misperception that they can just do what they want when they want, and there's nothing that the minority shareholders can do. So usually our approach and our first letter out the gate is an educational style letter which says, look, here is your conduct, here is how the court will consider your conduct, and here's some previous cases where the court has considered something similar, and here's the outcomes that were achieved there. We then make an early proposal to resolve it, and it's usually, if things can't be resolved, a offer to purchase shares at a fair market value. And often this is the real critical bit, is get a fair market valuation, because I think we all know that if you go to 10 accountants, you can get 10 very different valuations, and you can influence it. You can say, I want a high valuation or I want a low valuation. What I encourage my clients to do is get a fair market valuation for a couple of reasons. One, it sets their expectations very clearly and reasonably, so they're not expecting some inflated purchase price. The second reason is it's actually really hard to challenge a fair market valuation. How do you pick to pieces a fair market valuation? It's very easy to discredit a high valuation that's just unreasonably high, and it won't serve to actually resolve the dispute. Once you do that, I actually find that mediation is also a great forum to resolve these types of disputes, because we all know that the court process is long. It's even longer at the moment. The court system is backed up, and it's also very expensive. So if it can resolve at a forum like mediation, that's something that we would also encourage.